I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. Low-key, but tell the world. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Some 10 days ago, this one's wife was facing justifiable backlash as a consequence of her ill-judged attendance as the grief ghoul, the disaster tourist at the LA fires. Naturally, that justified criticism was challenge fuel to her. It validated her existence, but it threatened her need for control. Her response to that was to suggest that she was withdrawing, i.e., the third assertion of control, withdrawal, for she was stated to have gone into hermit mode. Yes, having been slammed over her repulsive photo opportunity activity, her response was to tell people that she and her husband didn't deserve the backlash for helping out, and that Justine Bateman was being unfair when talking about them touring the damage and suggesting, are they politicians now? They don't live here. They are tourists, disaster tourists. Therefore, what was this one's wife's response? She was going into hermit mode. She was going to disappear. She was going to take home her ball in a sulk and stay away. Well, that was some 10 days ago. And clearly, she's forgotten all about going into hermit mode, because this time she's trying to be low-key whilst at the same time ensuring that the world knows all about it. Once again, demonstrating the hypocrisy of this woman that you have come to know so well as a consequence of her narcissism. As I explained yesterday, she wasn't invited to a birthday celebration, but she turned up anyway, such as a sense of entitlement of this narcissist who wouldn't know a boundary if it came up and kicked her in the punani. Despite claiming that she's going to be low-key and that it was no longer the hermit approach but a low-key appearance, oddly enough, this low-key appearance has been picked up by the world's media, including, who else, but Hello! Now, as I've told you before, as a consequence of the input that I receive from my PR expert, there are certain outlets that essentially provide free coverage to certain celebrities on the understanding of being given access to them from time to time for certain exclusives and so forth. Hello is one of those organs which will quite gladly pump out PR puff pieces on behalf of this one's wife on the basis of gaining access to her from time to time. Thus, she can rely on them telling everybody about what she's been up to. Hermit mode? What's that? That was yesterday. That's gone. That's dissipated into the ether. As I've explained in a separate video, the Narcissist Conditional Asterisk, and I encourage you to watch that, whatever the narcissist says or does comes with a conditional asterisk, meaning that it can be overturned. That in the next moment, whatever the narcissist has said, they can renege on it. In the next moment, whatever the narcissist has done previously doesn't bind them to a consistent approach. And thus, this one's wife tells us, I'm going to hermit mode. That lasts all of a picosecond because, not much later, there she is at somebody's birthday ceremony. It could be a private matter, but somehow it ends up being addressed by the world's media. I doubt very much that this was a consequence of a very good spot by someone, for instance, at the Daily Mail, who just happened to be sat waiting at Jessica Alba's Instagram and watched the video and thought, hey, look, isn't that this one's wife seen for a millisecond in the background there? It is. Let's run an article on it. Clearly, someone somewhere ensured that this information went out there. Otherwise, why would it end up in the hallowed pages of Hello? And once again, this demonstrates what an idiot this woman is and how thirsty she is for the fuel, and what a hypocrite she is. That in the same article, it states, this one's wife makes low-key appearance at Kerry Washington's birthday ceremony, yet this is splashed in a major magazine. That's not low-key. And believe me, Hello would not have known about this without this one's wife putting them onto it. Rebecca Lewis had the misfortune of being trapped in the dungeon, this time in Los Angeles, to write as follows. The Duchess of Sussex has found her tribe. And to honour them, she took part in a manifestation ceremony as part of Kerry Washington's birthday. Well, we can understand why this attracted this one's wife. With her deluded magical thinking, she will undoubtedly have thought that she could manifest some good PR for herself, that she might be in a position to manifest some riches. After all, she is engaged in that behaviour on a repeated basis, where previously she's thought that by just talking about something that it would appear for her. Making a low-key appearance, which has then just been splashed across the world's media, including Hello, this one's wife appeared at the end of a video shared by Jessica Alba, revealing this one's wife attended the girls' night that saw them set fresh intentions, release what no longer serves us. Has Harry been set free then? And tap into their third eye. One shudders at the thought of what that might be. This one's wife sat next to the birthday girl. Of course she did, and we all have to be told that this is the case because she's so special, and thus this triangulates those reading with the fact that she was with Jessica Alba, a much more successful and more pleasant individual than this one's wife. Jessica brought in 2 cake stands covered in donuts with birthday candles glowing. You could be seen cheering on Kerry as they sang Happy Birthday. And Hello provides you with the video. The mum of 2, whose birthday it wasn't, of course, and actually it shouldn't be anything about her, suddenly finds herself the centre of an article. But I thought she was a hermit. Of course she isn't. But isn't this low-key? Of course it isn't. She has to ensure that once again, somebody else's birthday is hijacked by her. Could she keep quiet and stay out of the way? Of course she can't, because she has this pathological need for the pursuit of the prime aims, which means your birthday becomes fair game for her to hijack it. I've explained in separate videos about how the narcissist will invariably utilise other people's birthdays and indeed spoil them, because it always has to be about the narcissist. The article talks about what she wore and who else was invited. And it then went on to explain, there's nothing like that fill your cup type of girls' night under the energy of the #new moon in Aquarius. We came together for a beautiful ceremony led by Jill, founder of @SpiritDaughter. Okay. All loons under the same roof, it would appear. New moons for new loons, I would suggest. And the pictures showed the women writing in journals, getting in touch with their third eye. Is that a euphemism? Were they rubbing their nubbins, one wonders? And smudging. What the fuck is that? Kerry also shared a series of snaps of the evening, writing, feeling extra grateful to more nights like these, which for me is always a time for reflection and hearing. Entertainingly, in relation to the pictures that were shared, this one's wife doesn't appear in any of them, apart from one where they're sat round a table and you wouldn't actually know that it's her because her face has been obscured. We know that it's her because we know that she attended, but if you were just looking at that picture, you wouldn't know it was her. All you can see is a left knee with some jeans, a white t-shirt showing the back and a bit of the arm, and then some dark hair. Her face is completely obscured. Bummer for her. But naturally, the article gets in some more shite about this one's wife by telling us it is not clear if any of the women pictured will appear in this one's wife's new Netflix documentary, With Love, Meghan. But she has surrounded herself with empowering women, character trait acquisition, since she moved to California in 2020, in case you'd forgotten about that, with husband Prince Harry. It then bangs on a little bit about the trailer and the forthcoming cookery show. Quite simply, this one's wife was meant to be low-key, and instead, because she just cannot help herself, driven by her narcissism, she has to tell the world that she appeared at somebody's birthday ceremony and made it all about her. Her narcissism rules supreme. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.